If you ever used a bullet journal or paper planner, a digital planner is kind of the same way. Just copying over the same stuff, recreating the same spreads year after year, or whenever you need to switch planners or journals. Digital obviously makes that easier because you can just lasso and copy everything over in just a few seconds instead of redrawing and writing out everything by hand over and over again. However, like with bullet journals and paper planners, there's just not one magic button to automatically transfer everything over from one planner to another, and that's the same thing with digital planners. There's just a little bit of upfront work involved, but that just comes with the process of transferring planners. Much like with paper planners, the process for transferring over is still a very active process when it comes to transferring things between digital planners. Like with paper planners, you were rewriting the same deadlines if you had the same deadlines every month, and you're doing the same with a digital planner. However, it's much easier because you can use copy-paste. To move between planners, if there's something in your old digital planner that you want in your new one, the easiest way is to open both of them up side by side and split screen, and then just lasso and copy from your old digital planner and paste over into your new one. Now, depending on the amount of space in your new digital planner or the pages that are involved in the new one, there might be a little bit of tweaking that you have to do to ensure everything copies and pastes smoothly. And just like with bullet journals, it's so much easier to go through the little bit of upfront work involved in setting up your digital planner for the year than doing it as it comes and kind of shotgunning it with creating your spreads and making sure everything goes smoothly day to day, week to week, or month to month. It's just great to have those spreads set up for the year before you really start getting involved with planning. That way, throughout the year for 2022, you can focus on actually getting things done, checking off your to-do list, and knowing what deadlines come up without ever really having to set aside time to set up all of that stuff, since you set aside that time in the very beginning of the year. So getting things like your yearly or quarterly pages set up if you use those, perhaps setting up a monthly finance template that you use every month and you can just copy and paste over. Getting those most used active spreads set up will really benefit you later on throughout the year. And of course, with starting a new digital planner, there's no rule saying you have to transfer over all of the stuff from your old digital planner. You can honestly just start fresh with a new digital planner to start the year. And honestly, that's often what I do when it comes to switching over to a new digital planner, just to try out a new way of planning, maybe with the pages involved in the new digital planner and so on. Or to see how I can adapt my current planning style to the new tool or digital planner that I'm using. It's really important when it comes to PDF planners to think of them just like paper planners. Whatever you did in your old paper planner didn't automatically appear on other pages within that paper planner, and the same thing goes for digital. Whatever you do on one page of your digital PDF planner is not automatically going to populate on other pages just because it's digital. Again, there's going to be a little bit of time and effort involved into tweaking things and transferring things over from planner to planner if that's what you're doing with your digital planner. It's just like starting fresh in a new bullet journal or a new paper planner. Once you have everything transferred that you need from your old digital planner to your new one, you might be wondering what you should even do with your old digital planner. For most of us who have used paper planners or bullet journals before, a lot of us tend to hold on or keep our bullet journals to reflect back on as a memory keeping device, something we can go back to. And the premise is sort of the same with digital planners if that's what you're into. Of course, with it being digital, they're easier to store and save forever. They don't take up physical space in our physical environment. They just take up space on a hard drive or a cloud drive. And so there are plenty of options for storing your digital planner, your old digital planner, if you want to keep it. It will really just come down to the type of person you are when it comes to holding on to old and used things, and the same premise is for digital planners as well. There are some people who will actually print out their digital planners and store them in a hardcover or scrapbook style to take up that physical space in their environment, and if that's you, then that's totally up to you. If you are considering printing your old digital planner, then you will need to keep in mind that what you see on the computer, what you see on your iPad, is what's going to be printed. So most digital planners, a lot of them have kind of a realistic paper planner look, but digital. They'll have rings or tabs, a binder look, a seam, something like that. And you'll have to keep in mind that those things will also be printed on your photo book, on your paper as well. It's not going to just print the page of the planner unless you do a ton of cropping across all of your pages. So if you don't want to see all of that fancy stuff that made it look like a real planner for digital, then printing it might not be the best option for you. You'll also have to keep in mind things like color, because what we see on our screens isn't going to be the true color that comes with printing unless we go to a professional printer. And even then, it's still kind of iffy. So those are just some things to keep in mind when it comes to actually printing out your digital planner. So personally, what I do with my old digital planners is I actually just leave them in the GoodNotes app. I typically switch between 2 to 3 different digital planners throughout the year. Since I do create digital planners, I really like to be able to test out the own digital planners that I create. Because I create normally 2 or 3 throughout the year, I'm switching between 2 or 3 for one given year. And because I'm switching between 2 to 3 digital planners, none of them are insanely big as they would be if I just stuck with one digital planner throughout the year. So it's not taking up a ton of space within my GoodNotes app where it makes the app unusable or anything. When I am ready to store my digital planner outside of the GoodNotes app, I will export it as a PDF and then just upload it to somewhere like Google Drive or iCloud to store it. Once I'm positive that my digital planner, my old digital planner, is backed up on something like Google Drive or iCloud, then I will take that step to delete it from the GoodNotes app, but only after making sure it's backed up. Now, a big note, something super important, is that once you export your digital planner out as a PDF, everything is flattened. The links will no longer work. You won't be able to move the images or text or pictures that you've added to your digital planner. So be sure that once you export your digital planner is exactly how you want it to look when you store it. You won't be able to change anything, you won't be able to erase anything, you won't be able to remove any of the images. GoodNotes will flatten your digital planner so the links won't work, and it basically just becomes a bunch of images, a bunch of pages that are unusable. So this is how you would store your digital planner. So again, that's just something you want to keep in mind. Maybe you have an embarrassing photo that you didn't think that was that embarrassing at the time when you added it to your digital planner, or just something that you don't want to stay within your digital planner. That's just something to keep in mind, because once you export it as a PDF from GoodNotes, it's permanent. Once it's exported, I normally just keep them on my personal Google Drive or iCloud. Your preferred file management or thumb drive will be fine. And that's all there really is to switching between digital planners. But I did think it was important to address that, since I know many of you have questions with the new year coming up on how do I switch from my old digital planner to my new one, or what should I do with my old one? And I wanted to address all of those questions and more within this video. If you have any additional questions for me, however, be sure to leave those in the comments and I will try to answer as many as I can. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I have tons of great content on the way, and I wouldn't want you to miss it if you aren't already subscribed to KDigitalStudio. It really does help me and the channel out so much more than you'll ever know, and I seriously appreciate each and every one of you who come to all of my videos to watch, like, engage, and comment. It truly helps me out and makes my whole day. I hope this video, though, was helpful when it came to transferring and switching between digital planners and just getting prepared for 2022, since it's just around the corner. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!